Hello YouTube. This is Imran, your magical mystic, aka Lucretia Hayes. So, one of the things that has happened, as you guys understand, I am now doing Moments of Mindfulness, which is a TV show that comes on KARD Fox here in Louisiana on Fridays, 4 p.m. But I'm doing that. We also have many moments that air with the news on Mondays and Fridays where I give people like little quick tips to help them get through their week and different things like that. So between that and Divinity Academy and the growth, the expansive growth of the apprenticeship, plus the tremendous growth of Magical Mystic, I'm not here as much as I used to be. However, I made this video specifically for those of you who have liked and subscribed and all of that here at YouTube. First of all, I want to talk to you guys real quick about success, okay? Um, there is no hard, fast rule. That's the first thing. However, there are principles or guidelines that can help you get to where you want to be, provided that you apply them continuously. In all of the coaching that I do, most of the people that I talk to have tried sometimes the exact thing that they need to be doing, but they only tried it. They didn't commit to it. And there's a difference between trying something and committing to it, okay? Trying something means that you went in with an attempt to see what would happen. So, I might try a piece of your steak. I didn't eat the whole thing. I had a piece and that was it. I had an experience with the steak that you created for me or for yourself, okay? Or I had an experience with this or an experience with that, but I did not commit to that experience. I didn't move. I went to Miami on vacation last year and brought in the new year there, but I didn't move to Miami. So I tried it, I looked at it, I experienced it, but I'm committed to Louisiana. So that's what that is. And so when people come to me and a lot of times they're saying, I've tried everything, a lot of times that is the problem. You have tried so many things, but you hadn't committed to anything. When I first started doing a TV show, um, first of all, y'all already know how country I am. I'm very country, very, very southern. Let me say it like that. But having said that, you already see how I am. Not necessarily the type of person that you would expect to be on a TV show, but I decided I was going to commit to it anyway. And so my first few times shooting episodes, they were not that great, not to me. I never knew when to stop. I never knew how far I could really get into a topic before it turns into this thing, right? And so it was uncomfortable. Luckily, the cameraman and people that work at Fox gave me a lot of feedback to kind of help me perfect the craft or whatever, because I've never been to school for that. But it took some painstaking practice. That meant even after I was done shooting, I used to have to come home and practice on getting my timing just right. What does 3 minutes of talking feel like? What does 10 minutes of talking feel like? What does 15 minutes of talking feel like? Generally, I'm teaching, so I'm always going 45 minutes to an hour. But how do you get all of that substance in a shorter time frame? And so that had been a thing that was holding me up from being successful, until I learned that I don't have to give it all at one time. I can give it in pieces, a little bit at a time, bite-sized pieces. I bring that up though to say it was a learning curve. And some of you are afraid to go on and commit to something that you are unfamiliar with, not knowing that anything that you desire right now that's not in your life means that there's something else, some knowledge, some information that needs to come into your life so that you are able to attain the thing that you don't have. Everything that you have is a match for what you have inside. When you want more out here, you got to get more in here. That means committing to something that you don't know how that shit gonna turn out. Pardon my language, but it's the truth. You don't know how it's gonna turn out. You don't know how, if you commit to XYZ, how that's really gonna play out. I have an apprentice right now that she's in her final rotation of medical school. She's going to be an OBGYN. That is her practice, her specialty. And it's been a challenge. But once you done committed to 6 years of school, 7 years, however many years of school, you can't just turn around and run away. You done gave up so much time, so much money, so much energy. Sometimes it's not about, oh, this doesn't work. It's that the way that I'm doing it isn't working. So let me find a different approach, because I can find many approaches to get me to that same place. Don't give up too quickly on yourself. When I look at some of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life, it was because I was impatient. I was always in a hurry. I don't even know what I was rushing for. That's what's funny. I mean, thinking back now, I'm like, why were you, what was you rushing toward? You didn't even know where exactly you wanted to go, and you just rushing. You out there gone. You don't know where you're headed. But you getting there quick. But there was nowhere. Running around in circles like a chicken with my head cut off. I didn't understand how important it was to sit, create a plan. I didn't understand how important it was for me to feed myself, okay, with knowledge and information. I didn't understand time then like I understand it now as a 44-year-old woman. Back then, it felt like I didn't have that much time. I needed to get all of this done in my 20s. It wasn't meant to be done in my 20s. It could have been done, by 30 for sure, but it wasn't meant to be done in my 20s. It was meant for the process to start. Now, I'll say this. Where I could have been would have been great. Where I am now is amazing. I don't regret it. But where I am now took me into a place where I had to capitalize on everything from before. And so sometimes, my loves, you want to be successful and you don't understand that some failures have to happen. And not ultimate failures, you're never going to have another opportunity, not none of that kind of stuff. But just that didn't work out and that didn't work out, and neither did this and neither did that and neither did this, because you think that you're just failing, but you're learning. You think you're struggling, but you're actually gaining information and experience. Don't fade from that part. It's necessary too. It's a lot of people who want to sell you this idea that success is immediate. All you got to do is know the right person, get in this little spot, and this and this and that. And here's the reality. Some people do hit a quick success, but it still takes them work to maintain it. Regardless of when you're putting in the work, work is required. From education to, even further education, right? Because we already got some education, but we might have to further our education. To adjustments in personality and predisposition, to energetic adjustments, okay? And sometimes we're not a match yet. And all of these circumstances help whittle us down to the place where we can fit in that little hole, that little groove called success and happy living. There's not a single person who will ever see this video who cannot be happy, who cannot be successful, who cannot be whatever it is that they desire to be. Nobody. There are a lot of people who won't, but that's because of choices. Conditioning, mental conditioning, the paradigm that you hold, your operating system has blocked you from certain things. You can choose differently though, right this moment. You can choose to say, I commit to myself that I'm going to do everything that I can, and I'm going to give it time. And I'm going to spend that time learning and absorbing everything that's coming in. Everything in your life and everything that comes into your life is raw material for you to use to get to where you want to go. Everything. The things that make you cry, absolutely. Everything. The things that make you laugh, everything. The people, the places, those who reject you are just as important as those who accept you. The no's are just as important as the yeses. It's a true story. And when you internalize that and let that breathe, let that gel within you, You stop feeling like, oh, I'm blocked, oh, something wrong, oh, this ain't gonna work, oh, this. You stop being an enemy to yourself and to your success, and you get in agreement and in alignment, and you say to yourself, you know what? I take that. I'll take that no. I just learned something. I'll take that no too. I'll take that rejection. And I also will take that support. And I also will take that praise. Because sometimes we're good at taking the bad, but we suck at taking the good. You know what I'm saying? So you're taking them both. And you are allowing yourself to absorb that which you need and release that which you don't. It's real simple. But it's a daily practice. It requires commitment. This ain't something you try. This is something you live every day. I do. And I've turned myself into a multimillionaire after making all types of mistakes. And so can you. I love you guys. Thanks for being a part of my YouTube family. And follow us on Facebook at MRain Official, okay? Or Instagram at MRain Official. I love y'all.